Did you know the United States is directly responsible for the regime change that caused the Cuban Missile Crisis? Now, let me walk you through all of this. So in 1898, the US and Spain battled in the Spanish-American War for Cuba's independence from Spain. Now, after the war, the US military occupied Cuba until 1903. And even though the US technically did not occupy Cuba, they were still allowed to intervene in Cuban affairs both domestically and internationally, and that was done through the Platt Amendment. 3 years go by without a problem, but then in 1906, the US occupies Cuba because of political unrest and stays there until 1909. Then decades go by without any US intervention until the 1930s. Cuba's president, Gerardo Machado, who is backed by the US, is overthrown. Now, the US is faced with a dilemma. They need to find someone who they can push through the ranks in Cuba's leadership. And they do. That person is Batista. So he's eventually elected president in 1940 and serves until 1944. After that, he leaves the country, but then comes back in 1952 to lead a military coup and seize power with, you guessed it, the support of the United States. Batista's regime was corrupt. U.S. businesses in Cuba thrived while Cubans faced poverty and oppression. At the same time, Fidel Castro and Che Guevara's resistance movement is growing, and on December 31st, 1958, the rebels overthrow Batista. And that brings us to here. Castro takes control and ends decades of US-backed regimes in Cuba. He aligns himself with the Soviet Union, which causes a lot of international conflicts, like the Bay of Pigs invasion and also the Cuban Missile Crisis. So, if we are going to grade this regime change, we'll probably give it an F.